Have you ever seen a city where the rivers are not beside life, but life itself? A city where water is not just a landscape, not just a source of transportation, not just a beautiful backdrop for photographs, but the very heartbeat of an entire civilization. A city where every sunrise reflects on flowing water, where boats become marketplaces, where history drifts along ancient currents, where culture, identity, trade, faith, and survival have been intertwined with rivers for centuries. Welcome to Banjarmasin, the remarkable capital of South Kalimantan, a city unlike almost any other in Southeast Asia, a city known throughout Indonesia as the City of 1,000 Rivers. And once you discover its story, you will understand why this place is far more extraordinary than most people realize. Because Banjarmasin is not simply a city, it is a living water civilization, a place where the rivers are roads, where traditions continue to float through time, and where the past and future meet on the surface of the water. For many international travelers, Bali often captures the spotlight. Jakarta dominates the headlines. Yogyakarta is celebrated for its cultural heritage. But hidden on the island of Borneo lies a city that tells a completely different story about Indonesia. A story of resilience, a story of adaptation, a story of people who learn to build a thriving society in one of the most unique geographical environments on Earth. Banjarmasin sits in the southern region of Borneo, the third largest island in the world. This vast island is shared by Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. Within the Indonesian portion of Borneo, known as Kalimantan, Banjarmasin emerged as one of the most important historical and economic centers. Yet what immediately makes the city stand out is its relationship with water. Unlike many cities that grow around rivers, Banjarmasin grows through them. The city is crisscrossed by countless waterways, large rivers, small canals, natural channels, and interconnected streams that weave through neighborhoods, markets, homes, and commercial districts. These waterways have shaped nearly every aspect of daily life. For generations, rivers served as transportation corridors long before modern roads were developed. They connected communities, moved goods, supported trade, and became the foundation upon which the city flourished. This is why Banjarmasin earned its famous nickname, the City of 1,000 Rivers. Although the phrase is symbolic, it perfectly captures the essence of the city. Water is everywhere, and it has always been everywhere. Even today, the river remains one of the most powerful symbols of local identity. To understand Banjarmasin, we must first understand its name. The origins of the name Banjarmasin trace back hundreds of years. Historical records suggest that the city was originally known as Banjarmasin. The name was derived from Pati Masih, an influential local leader whose role was crucial in the establishment of the Banjar kingdom. Pati Masih was not simply a political figure, he represented a pivotal chapter in the formation of a kingdom that would shape the cultural and political landscape of South Kalimantan for centuries. As trade expanded and foreign powers became increasingly interested in the region, the city's name evolved. Dutch colonial records from the 17th century referred to the settlement as Banjarmasin. Later, it appeared as Banjarmasin. By the 19th century, and during the Japanese occupation period, the spelling gradually transformed into Banjarmasin. Eventually, following Indonesian linguistic standardization, the modern spelling Banjarmasin became official. The evolution of the city's name mirrors the evolution of the city itself, a place shaped by indigenous traditions, regional kingdoms, international trade networks, colonial encounters, and modern nation building. Every variation of the name tells part of a larger story, a story spanning centuries, a story that continues today. What makes Banjarmasin particularly fascinating is its geography. Much of the city lies only slightly above sea level. Some areas are even located below sea level during certain tidal conditions. At first glance, this might appear challenging, but for centuries, local communities transformed this geographical reality into an advantage. Rather than resisting the waterways, they embraced them. They built homes near rivers, developed river-based transportation systems, created floating economic networks, and established communities that could thrive alongside changing water levels. At the center of this aquatic world flows the Martapura River. This river serves as one of the city's defining landmarks. The Martapura River eventually connects with the mighty Barito River, one of the most significant rivers in Kalimantan. The Barito River stretches hundreds of kilometers across the island and has long served as a major transportation route. For generations, these rivers connected inland settlements with coastal trading centers. They enabled the movement of timber, agricultural products, spices, and countless other commodities. Long before highways existed, rivers were the highways. Long before trucks dominated logistics, boats carried prosperity. And long before modern tourism, rivers already carried stories. Perhaps nowhere is this river culture more visible than in Banjarmasin's legendary floating markets. Imagine waking before sunrise. The sky remains dark, the city is quiet, mist hovers above the water. Then, gradually, dozens of boats begin appearing from different directions. Women wearing traditional hats paddle skillfully through the river. Vendors arrange fruits, vegetables, cakes, spices, fish, and local delicacies. Customers arrive by boat. Conversations begin. Transactions take place. The marketplace comes alive. Not on land, but on water. This is the famous floating market of Cuisine, one of the most iconic cultural attractions in Indonesia. For approximately 4 centuries, this remarkable market has continued its traditions. Generation after generation, seller after seller, boat after boat. The market is believed to be among the world's oldest surviving floating market traditions. And unlike tourist attractions created for modern visitors, this market emerged naturally from local necessity. People traded on water because water was the most practical way to travel. Over time, practicality became culture, culture became heritage, and heritage became one of Banjarmasin's greatest treasures. The market typically begins before dawn. By sunrise, the river is already buzzing with activity. Fresh produce changes hands. Traditional snacks are exchanged. Bargains are negotiated. Relationships are strengthened. And visitors witness something increasingly rare in today's rapidly modernizing world, a living tradition that remains connected to its original purpose. The floating market of Siring Tendian offers another opportunity to experience this unique culture. While more accessible to visitors, it still celebrates the river-based lifestyle that defines the city. Watching dozens of colorful boats drift across calm water creates a scene that feels timeless, a reminder that progress does not always require abandoning tradition. Sometimes, the most powerful future is one that remembers its past. The rivers of Banjarmasin are not merely historical relics. They remain active spaces filled with life and activity. One of the most popular experiences for visitors is the river cruise. Known locally as a river exploration journey, these tours allow travelers to see the city from the perspective that shaped its development. As the boat glides along the water, an entirely different version of the city emerges. You pass traditional wooden houses standing near the riverbanks, mosques reflecting on the water's surface, bustling neighborhoods, cultural landmarks, and communities whose daily routines remain connected to the river. Every turn reveals another chapter of Banjarmasin's story. One notable destination along these routes is the Sultan Suryansha Mosque. This historic mosque stands as a testament to the spread of Islam in the region and the legacy of the Banjar kingdom. Its architecture reflects centuries of cultural evolution while preserving traditional local influences. Visitors often describe the experience of arriving by river as particularly memorable. Approaching a historic site through the same waterways used by earlier generations creates a powerful sense of continuity. Other landmarks include the observation tower, known as Menara Pandang, which offers panoramic views of the city and its river networks. From above, the true scale of Banjarmasin's waterways becomes clear. The rivers appear like arteries carrying life through every corner of the urban landscape. Another beloved symbol is the Proboscis Monkey monument. The Proboscis monkey, locally known as Bekantan, is one of Borneo's most distinctive animals. Recognizable by its unusually large nose and expressive appearance, the species has become an important icon of South Kalimantan. Its presence reminds visitors that Banjarmasin is not only rich in culture, but also connected to one of the planet's most biodiverse ecosystems. Beyond its rivers and landmarks, Banjarmasin offers another unforgettable experience: its food. Food tells stories, and in Banjarmasin, every dish reflects centuries of cultural exchange and local creativity. Among the most famous culinary treasures is Soto Banjar. This beloved soup is more than just a meal, it is a cultural symbol. Prepared with aromatic spices, tender chicken, and rich broth, Soto Banjar delivers a comforting flavor profile that immediately distinguishes it from other Indonesian soups. Served with rice cake and various accompaniments, it represents the warmth and hospitality of Banjar culture. Another cherished dish is Sop Banjar. While similar in some respects, it possesses its own identity and serving style. The combination of chicken, duck egg, potatoes, herbs, and carefully balanced seasonings creates a satisfying and memorable dining experience. For locals, these dishes are not simply recipes, they are family traditions, cultural inheritance, and expressions of regional pride. Visitors often arrive expecting to admire rivers. They leave remembering flavors. And then there is the artistic soul of Banjarmasin, the magnificent Sasirangan cloth. Long before modern fashion brands existed, the people of Banjar had already developed one of Indonesia's most beautiful textile traditions. Sasirangan is believed to have roots stretching back to the 12th century. For hundreds of years, artisans have preserved techniques passed from generation to generation. Creating Sasirangan requires patience, precision, and creativity. Sections of fabric are carefully tied using thread or string to form intricate patterns. The cloth is then dyed, producing unique motifs and vibrant colors. Each piece becomes a work of art, a reflection of cultural identity, a bridge connecting past and present. Historically, Sasirangan carried spiritual and ceremonial significance. Today, it continues to evolve while maintaining its cultural foundations. It is worn during celebrations, displayed during festivals, and purchased by visitors seeking an authentic piece of South Kalimantan heritage. Owning Sasirangan is not merely buying fabric, it is carrying home a story woven by generations, a story dyed into every thread. Yet perhaps the most remarkable thing about Banjarmasin is not any individual landmark, market, dish, or textile. It is the city's ability to preserve its identity while embracing change. Modern buildings rise alongside historic waterways. Digital technology reaches communities still connected to traditional river life. Economic growth advances without completely erasing cultural memory. This balance is not easy. Many cities around the world struggle to protect their heritage amid rapid development. Banjarmasin's journey demonstrates that preservation and progress do not have to be enemies. They can coexist, they can strengthen one another, and together they can create a future rooted in authenticity. As the sun begins to set over the rivers, the city transforms once again. Golden light dances across the water. Boats drift home. The sounds of commerce soften. Reflections shimmer across the currents that have carried generations through history. In those moments, it becomes clear why Banjarmasin leaves such a lasting impression. This is not simply a destination, it is an experience, not merely a place to visit, but a place to understand. A reminder that some of humanity's greatest stories are written not on roads or skyscrapers, but on rivers, flowing quietly through time, connecting people, preserving memories, and carrying cultures forward. So the next time someone mentions Indonesia, think beyond the destinations everyone already knows. Think about a city where rivers are lifelines, where floating markets still greet the dawn, where ancient traditions continue to thrive, where every current carries centuries of history. Think about Banjarmasin, the city of 1,000 rivers, a city built by water, shaped by resilience, enriched by culture, and destined to inspire anyone fortunate enough to discover it. Because some places impress you for a moment, but places like Banjarmasin stay with you forever.